What if everything we know about human history is only part of the story? We've mapped the stars, split the atom, and left footprints on the moon. But these triumphs, all of them, occurred within the last few thousand years. A sliver, a breath, a blink in the lifetime of Earth. Our species, Homo sapiens, has been around for about 300,000 years. Civilization as we know it? Maybe 6,000. Industrial technology? Barely 250. Now consider this. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. So, what happened during the other 4,499,994,000 years? What lived and died before us? That's where the Silurian Hypothesis enters the frame, not as a conspiracy theory or science fiction, but as a serious question posed by two respected scientists, Gavin Schmidt and Adam Frank, in a peer-reviewed paper published in 2018. Their question wasn't whether dinosaurs had Wi-Fi or ancient aliens built pyramids. Their question was far more unsettling. If an advanced civilization had existed millions of years ago, would we even be able to tell? Because maybe the problem isn't that it never happened. Maybe the problem is that it happened, and we simply can't see it. Let's go back. Not thousands of years. Not even millions. Let's go back tens of millions of years, to the Eocene, the Paleocene, even the Cretaceous. Eras when Earth teemed with life, but none of it looked like us. No skyscrapers. No satellites. No highways. But, does that mean nothing intelligent walked this Earth? The fossil record is deeply incomplete. In fact, only a tiny fraction of all species that ever lived have been preserved in any form. Most organic matter decomposes. Even bones vanish over geologic time. And for technology, concrete, steel, plastic, the situation is even worse. After a few million years, almost all trace of human activity, cities, cars, smartphones, would erode, corrode, and crumble. Our steel would rust. Our plastic would fragment. Our buildings would fall and be buried under shifting sediments, glaciers, or volcanic ash. Give it 10 million years, and the only thing left might be a thin, odd layer in the rock. A signal. This is what Frank and Schmidt proposed. If a pre-human industrial civilization had existed in the distant past, it wouldn't leave behind statues or power lines. It would leave behind chemical fingerprints, subtle anomalies in sediment layers, carbon isotopes, and fossil fuels. Ironically, the same kind of fingerprints we're leaving behind today. Take the Anthropocene. Some geologists now argue that we've entered a new epoch, marked by the byproducts of human activity, synthetic chemicals, plastic polymers, concentrated carbon in the atmosphere, and a dramatic loss of biodiversity. If we were to disappear tomorrow, and a future species evolved millions of years from now, they might look back at this time and see a strange blip in the geologic record. An anomaly. So the question becomes, has this happened before? Has there already been a blip, long erased by plate tectonics, erosion, or extinction? The Silurian Hypothesis doesn't say there was a prior civilization. It asks, if there was, how would we know? And the answer? We might not. Let's talk about timescales. Civilization on Earth has existed for maybe 6,000 years. But the dinosaurs ruled for over 150 million years. That's 25,000 times longer than modern civilization. If intelligence evolved in one of those long, forgotten chapters of Earth's history, it could have risen and fallen many times, each time swallowed by the slow churn of geology. There are precedents. The Chicxulub asteroid impact wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs 66 million years ago. But that's not the only global catastrophe in Earth's history. We've had Snowball Earth episodes where ice stretched to the equator, supervolcanoes that filled the skies with ash, methane bursts that triggered mass extinctions, magnetic reversals, ocean anoxia. All of these could erase surface civilizations with chilling efficiency. And that's assuming a civilization even got that far. Most intelligence might never reach industrial levels. Dolphins are intelligent. So are octopuses. But they don't build cities, not because they lack brains, but because they live in environments that don't reward fire, metallurgy, or agriculture. So what would we look for? Not buildings. Not roads. We'd look for indirect signals. A spike in carbon isotopes, suggesting fossil fuel combustion. Unusual ratios of nitrogen and oxygen, pointing to industrial agriculture. Synthetic compounds, chlorofluorocarbons or plastics, embedded in ancient sediments. A sudden, unexplained rise in global temperature or mass extinction not tied to known events. Some scientists have looked. And there are curiosities. For instance, the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, PTM, about 56 million years ago. A mysterious, rapid global warming event with massive carbon injection into the atmosphere, resembling eerily what we're doing now. Was it volcanic activity? Methane hydrates? Or something else? The evidence doesn't say. But it reminds us that we don't have all the answers. And maybe we've never asked the right questions. And that's the heart of the Silurian hypothesis. It's not a claim. It's a mirror. It forces us to look at our own civilization, not just as a marvel, but as a data point. A moment. A fragile, temporary spike in the vast, unknowable curve of Earth's deep time. Because if we vanish, what will be left? What legacy will we leave, not in monuments, but in molecules? And if something else came before us, what legacy did they leave behind? We may never know. But maybe, just maybe, we've been looking in the wrong places. Let's suppose, just for a moment, that an intelligent species had evolved 100 million years ago. What would we even expect to find? Would there be fossils? Perhaps. But even that isn't guaranteed. Fossilization is rare. It requires a precise alignment of circumstances, sediment, pressure, mineral-rich waters. Most organisms, even today, disappear without a trace. Soft tissues decay. Bones are scattered. Even skeletons can dissolve completely if not preserved quickly. Now imagine an ancient civilization. Cities built of wood or stone. Tools made of metal or ceramic. How long would they last? The answer is, not long. Buildings crumble within centuries. Roads are swallowed by forests or deserts. Even metal corrodes. Plastics and glass may persist longer, but only in protected environments. In a few 100,000 years, most evidence of human activity would be eroded, subducted, or buried. And if we're talking about civilizations that existed tens of millions of years ago, the Earth has completely reshaped itself in that time. Entire ocean basins have opened and closed. Continents have drifted. Mountain ranges have risen and fallen. Plate tectonics doesn't care about our artifacts. To find any trace of a truly ancient civilization, we'd have to look deep into sediments, into isotopic ratios, into the very chemistry of the Earth's layers. Let's think bigger. What if this hypothetical civilization didn't rely on fossil fuels at all? What if it was solar-powered? Or nuclear? What if it was sustainable, leaving behind no massive carbon spike, no pollution, no scars? Such a civilization might leave behind even less evidence than ours. In fact, the more advanced and harmonious it became, the more invisible it would be to time. There's another possibility too. What if they didn't last long? What if they emerged, flourished, and vanished within just a few thousand years? A blink in geologic time. Their impact might be buried within a single sediment layer. A whisper, not a shout. And unless we knew exactly where to look, we'd never notice. It's humbling to realize just how fragile civilization is, how quickly time erases its footprints. Even ours. Think of our world today. Cities buzzing with billions. Satellites circling overhead. Data centers humming in the dark. And yet, if humanity disappeared tomorrow, nature would reclaim everything. Within centuries, forests would overgrow concrete. Dams would collapse. Steel would rust. Skyscrapers would topple. In 10,000 years? Almost nothing would remain. In a million? Only the most stubborn relics would endure, buried deep, distorted, half lost to memory. So now we return to the central question, what if we are not the first? And if we're not, what happened to them? Were they destroyed by climate collapse? A nuclear war? A global pandemic? Or did they leave willingly, abandoning Earth for the stars? Perhaps they foresaw the end and chose to disappear. Or perhaps they were erased by forces beyond their control. Asteroids. Ice ages. Supervolcanoes. Events we ourselves are only beginning to understand. There's a deeper question here too. If advanced civilizations can rise and fall without a trace, how many others might be out there? In our galaxy? In our universe? The so-called Great Silence, the Fermi paradox, asks, if intelligent life is common, where is everyone? Maybe they've all vanished. Maybe the universe is older and more haunted than we realize. Civilizations come. Civilizations go. And the universe forgets. Unless someone remembers. Unless someone looks. That, in the end, may be our greatest responsibility, not just to survive, but to record. To leave behind something that endures. Not just plastics or carbon spikes, but knowledge. A message for the deep future. We were here. We existed. We reached for the stars. And if someone else had done the same long before us, would we even know? Would we be wise enough to recognize the echo?